you guys stand here and the mayor will come back and forth.
It's just like at home. My wife tell me what to do and
That's
where to
right.
stand.
You know, hey,
Bring your
hey,
daughter and
you know. You got 3 hits on you.
You already.
You got 3 hits. Boom, boom, boom. Here comes another.
Ask
They all
Monica.
here.
She knows all about that.
Oh, that's good. I'm standing. I got the strength. Let me get one. Y'all just gave me coach. You know, we're the area where you never know what's going to happen.
Much better. Yes. Thank you. You're welcome. You guys need anything?
Regina, okay. She should be up here in just a moment.
I mean, I'm from the Jesus. I want you to do this. I said, yeah, man.
It was a pretty good time. You know, we had great weather, but I'm surprised so many people.
We just want to sit there.
They sit here from West Africa, and I'm also people who want to so many. Chamber always send out something about so and so starting a new business, but this is a big deal for this district. Yeah.
We got Charles.
Oh my
gosh, good to see you. Here we are. Big and
Boom.
dirty.
You're going up for it, baby.
Right.
We're going for it.
Okay.
All
You guys
right.
ready?
Okay, we're ready. Good morning, everyone. It is a great day to be here in the East End neighborhood. And first, I'd like to welcome our council members. We have Councilmember James Brown with us and Councilmember Whitney Baxter. Where are you? There you are. And Councilmember Richard Maloney. Any other council members this morning? We are always happy to have our council members. It is also a pleasure to have Representative George Brown with us this morning. Thank you, Representative. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Charles Fields, a representative of the Charles Young Advisory Board, Lisa Adkins, President and CEO of Bluegrass Community Foundation, and Nick Rowe, President of Kentucky American Water, for a little bit longer, right?
20 days.
20, he says 20 days, but who's counting? I want to start today by thanking our sponsors. This project is largely privately funded. And so thanks to Lisa Adkins and Bluegrass Community Foundation for their leadership and for bringing a collaboration of funders who together provided $1,050,000 of private funds toward the Splash project. How awesome is that? With us today are Lily Weinberg, Senior Director of Community and National Initiatives at the Knight Foundation in Miami, and her associate, Fong O'Neill. Where did you go? There you are. Well, you're the smart ones sitting at the picnic table. The Knight Foundation Donor Advised Fund at Bluegrass Community Foundation issued a $600,000 challenge grant to kickstart this project. We wouldn't be here today without Lily's commitment to Splash. Thank you so much. Splash also received a grant from American Water Charitable Foundation's Building Better Communities grant, administered by the National Recreation and Park Association for $250,000. Thank you to our local office at Kentucky American Water who brought this grant opportunity to us. Kentucky American has been a strong supporter of Lexington's parks for decades. Nick Rowe is here today with Susan Lancho, Senior Manager of External Communications at Kentucky American. I also want to thank Brandy Peacher from my office and Monica Conrad, Director of Parks and Recreation, who have worked together along with General Services Commissioner Chris Ford to make this project happen. Chris, where did you go? There There you are. Thank you. And while we're talking about commissioners, I saw Commissioner Casey Allen Bryant here from Social Services. Thank you. Also, thanks to Pace Contracting, who are here, for building this project as well as the Town Branch Commons Trail. Thank you. Also want to thank Gresham Smith for the fabulous design. Is there anyone here from Gresham? Oh, there you are. Thank you so much. Great design. So today we're breaking ground on Splash, a water play project that will soon make quite a splash here in Charles Young Park. A new playground, resurfaced basketball courts, and now Splash will make Charles Young Park a real attraction in the East End neighborhood. Splash will be a large, interactive water feature telling the story of now Brigadier General Charles Young, a native Kentuckian and the first African American to attain the rank of colonel in the United States Army. Splash will also draw upon the bluegrass landscape, mimicking the karst, creeks, and streams found in rural areas. Using recirculating water, the water play area will include water bubbling up from stones, crossing water arches, and a constant, shallow stream surrounded by stepping stones and artificial turf mounds for play or sitting. Plans call for the addition of trees to cool off the area, as well as include native plantings, and the project includes renovation of the existing restroom building. With plenty of input from neighbors, including neighborhood children, Splash has been designed to appeal to children and adults of different ages and abilities. Councilmember James Brown is going to tell us more about the involvement of the neighborhood in Splash. Councilmember Brown, welcome.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here with us today. And then thank you to my fellow council members that joined me, Councilmember Baxter and Councilmember Richard Maloney, and then also former Councilmember Lisa Higgins-Hord and Councilmember Bill Farmer, who is here, that also supported these projects that are going on in Charles Young Park. Here we are again in Charles Young Park, and I think it's important that we celebrate every opportunity that we can with the investment that's taking place in this neighborhood and the investment that's taking place in this park. I think the mayor acknowledged the private funding that's gone into this particular development, but it's been a lot of public investment in this park, in this neighborhood and community as well. When you're investing in downtown neighborhoods, historic African American neighborhoods, one of the most important things you can do is to reach out to the neighbors and get their input, their feedback about what they want in their park, in their neighborhood. And I'm proud to say that our Parks Department, Brandy and the mayor's office, our commissioners, I don't want to start naming them all because I'll forget them, have done an excellent job in reaching out and making sure that this community has been involved in this project, in every project in this park since I've been in office. So I think that deserves a round of applause. Yeah. There's a lot of growth and development taking place in Lexington right now. A lot of it in infill and redevelopment areas. This project in this park is just one of many that are taking place in this neighborhood. But I think as long as we stay focused on being intentional and including the neighbors' feedback, input, and what we want to see and what they want to see in our communities is important. And I think we will be successful if we continue to do that. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Brown. Now, this next gentleman is Charles Fields, And he is here today representing Charles Young Advisory Board. And he has been involved in many, many, many good and positive things right here at Charles Young and in the East End. And so I not only thank him for that, but invite him to tell us about how he believes these changes are affecting the park and the neighborhood. Mr. Fields? Thank you for everything. Awesome.
Good morning. I guess once again I'm standing here talking about Charles Young. First off, I want to thank the mayor, council members, commissioners, Brandy, and all those involved, especially my board here, standing here to the side, one sitting, two sitting there rather. You can't work without having what you call a unified front. This community has had what we call, people like to say we have issues. I say we've had to grow ourselves to where we want to be. And this is one of the most culturally rich areas in town. If you look around, doctors, lawyers, prominent businessmen, they all came from this area of town. So now we look like we're going to regrow that with our youth. And the only way you grow is start from the ground up. You put seeds in and you look for them to grow. And that park, as we started earlier this year, has really proved to be a beautiful asset. What I'm more thankful for than anything is the fact that we've got a community involvement that's growing us together. Unified effort is the strongest point we can make in our search for what we need to do for these children. And often we think about parks, let's be honest, we think about parks as like a place to come and sit and chill out. But most parks, if you look at them, I'd say 75% of the parks in this country are built for what? Children. So they're built for children. We need to enrich what they've got to use, give them the amenities as you see ready to take place here, because when you don't have the amenities, you have what we call a short vision of what you can be. And if we don't get our children to see those visions and grow them, shame on us. This area has had its ups and downs, but I thank God we're on the growth part. And the growth looks awful good right now. So let's try to continue that. And I really appreciate all the sponsors, participants, and recreational, particularly you all's involvement, because it takes all of us to make this work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charles. I did just notice we have our very first ever Commissioner of Housing Advocacy and Community Development, Charlie Lanter, with us. Thank you, Charlie. Now, let's hear from some of our donors. First, I want to ask Lisa Adkins with Bluegrass Community Foundation to join me at the podium, or take the podium.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Gorton, for the kind words. My purpose today is to represent Bluegrass Community Foundation and to recognize our charitable partners who made this project possible. At the Community Foundation, we work every day to create a more generous, vibrant, engaged, and equitable community through the power of charitable giving. Splash at Charles Young Park is the perfect example of the Community Foundation's core values: generosity, vibrancy, community engagement, and equity. At the Community Foundation, we love to foster investment in purposeful public spaces that bring us together and enrich our city, and Splash does just that. It also advances our longstanding goal to create an even more livable and vibrant downtown and East End neighborhood. Today's groundbreaking is the realization of our decades-long dream to create access to safe, fun, engaging, and beautiful water play for local children and families. Researchers and urban planners tell us that projects like this have transformative power to connect people of all backgrounds, build trust, and create more resilient communities. But we don't need researchers to tell us what the children who will play here will make obvious. This is going to be awesome. During my tenure as president of the foundation, I've witnessed the power of partnership. Today, it is time to celebrate the partners who made Splash possible. Together, through our collective charitable investments, we've made the dream of Splash real. At Bluegrass Community Foundation, we know we are better together. It is an honor to work with donors every day who want to make opportunity take root here in Lexington and in the many communities we serve across the Bluegrass and Appalachia, Kentucky. We join with these donors who want to tackle challenging issues with urgency and with a long-term approach to achieve lasting results. Projects like Splash would not be possible without the commitment of our volunteer board of directors and the dedication and creativity of our professional staff, many of whom are here today. If you're on the board of Bluegrass Community Foundation or a staff member, would you just give a wave? Thank you. It is now a pleasure to really recognize the individual donors who came together in a collaboration to make this happen. As the mayor said, there was a $600,000 challenge grant from the Knight Foundation Donor Advised Fund at the Community Foundation. Again, Lillian Fong, thank you for traveling to be a part of this groundbreaking today. Truly, without your partnership, with your thought leadership, and your investment, today would not have been possible. Once the Knight Foundation issued that challenge, the Community Foundation fostered a collaboration of donors who enthusiastically responded to the challenge, and it is my distinct pleasure to acknowledge and thank our charitable co-investors. We have Mark Johnson with Community Ventures, El Hapa Foundation, J.M. Smucker Company, whose Jif peanut butter plant is as part of their brand family. Is someone here from Jif? James Monroe Homes and the James and Martha Monroe Charitable Fund at the Community Foundation. James, thank you so much for being with us here today, and the Community Foundation. As we say, we truly are better together. This was a collaborative project, and it would not have been possible without this collaboration. So would you join me one more time in thanking all the charitable donors who made this possible? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Next, we have Nick Rowe with Kentucky American Water. Welcome. You might need a little bit of a boost in the microphone.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning to the mayor, council members, and all involved, and other elected leaders and the community leaders. This is kind of a special for us as a company as we continue to support parks in this community. I'd like to recognize my board of directors, our internal directors, Brian Queen and Shelley Porter, our external directors who are here, who you know have been long time involved in our community, Karen Hill, Glenn Leverage, and Dave Atkinson, three of our external board members, and have contributed not only to this community but to the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Also, I have with me today Cheryl Norton, who's our Chief Operating Officer, who was formerly president here at Kentucky American at one time, and she represents American Water, our parent company. So Cheryl, thanks for being here today. Kentucky American, our parent company, American Water, is just so proud to be a supporter of the Lexington parks for decades, as the mayor has mentioned, because we know, just like quality water service, parks play a significant role in the community's quality of life. Over the years, our support for the parks in Lexington has helped places like McCollum Springs, the Triangle Park, the Arboretum, and of course Jacobson Park. And a lot of people don't know this. That park, Jacobson Park, was named after a long-term water company manager over the years. And in 2011, American Water, Kentucky American, donated that park to the city of Lexington. A lot of us use that on a weekly basis. As a company, we're pleased to all that have contributed to this event today, but the funding here for the Splashpad at Charles Young Park by American Water Charitable Foundation is especially meaningful to me as an African-American leader in the water industry and a member of this community for a lot of years. So it's a special moment for me to be able to be part of this process. The park will provide safe water play for all ages and people of all different abilities in this area of town that's so deserving and sometimes gets overlooked. So I'm glad that we were able to be a part of that. It's special because it's located near a trail, celebrating our city's first original water source, the town branch. And it celebrates the life and work of an African American leader who, despite the racial challenges of his time, accomplished and contributed so much to our country and to this community. So to be a part of this at the ending of my career, it's special. I also want to introduce today Catherine Nash. Catherine, raise your hand. Catherine, today is her first day on the job as the new president of Kentucky American Water. And so welcome to Kentucky. I'm a little worried about Catherine, though, because her husband is a UK grad. So I talked to her about a ball game recently when we were interviewing her. She said, "What game?" So I said, "Hey, you have to keep up with Kentucky basketball if you're going to be." She said, "I'll just ask my husband." And I drove down. I said, "Now that's Coach Cal's house." She says, "Who's Coach Cal?" So we got a little work to do on, her husband knows, but we got a little education to do for Catherine. But Catherine, welcome to the community. Mayor, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the local board for your commitment to this community. This is well-deserved and a long time coming. We're glad to be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nick. Catherine, we'll have to be sure you have lots of the right color of blue. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Now let's dig and get Splash going. Council members, Representative Brown, neighborhood people, everybody, let's do this.